Alright guys, got a video for you. This is going to be a redo video because the last one, I think I gave a suboptimal hint. So I'm going to just redo this video and, I don't know, make it better. Okay, so we worked on libraries and functions this last week. So we were learning how to pull libraries in. I'm going to show you how to create your own library, and then we're going to use that library to solve this challenge here. Alright, so in order to create your own library, you're going to, over here on the left hand side for Replit, you can click on Add File. Once you click Add File, you can just create a name for your library. I called mine Eversole _ library. I'll make another one. We'll call it test _ library. And when you start typing it in, you'll notice that you get several options here in Replit. We want to use a .py file. Now in this .py file, this is where I can create my own function. In Python, to create a function, you use def. So let's make a comment here. Def stands for define a new function. Alright, so def, it will help you create a new function. So this is the keyword that you'll use to say what's coming next is a function. In Godot, which we're in a lot, Godot doesn't use def, it uses func. So I should say in Godot, def is replaced with func. But they work in the same way. Okay, so in Python we use def, and in Godot we use func. That will create a new function. Alright, so def, let's create our first function over here that we can grab from. I'm going to say test function. And a function ends with a set of parentheses. And then I'll put colons, and then I'll just make what my function does. Something simple. Look, I can create my own function. Let's go. Okay, so test function. So def says I'm going to create a function, and then this is my function name. Alright. Inside of that, you have a set of parentheses. This is going to handle any arguments that you might want to use with it. We'll talk about that in a little bit in a second. But this function, all it does is print out, look, I can create my own function. Alright, we did this in our test library. So that's that new page I made. Let's go back to main.py. And this is like your main page where all your stuff runs. So this is a normal program I am used to working in. Alright, so the way it works here is it just works like normal. You run it, your code runs, you do whatever, and it pops out in the console. Now if I want to get to this test library that I just made and use my new function, at the top I first need to get access to this function. So I need to call the function by name. So I'll say import. That means I need something that's not on this page. Go get it. It's over here on the left, and it's called test library. So I'm going to call it by name. I'll say test _ library. Alright, if you spell something wrong, it won't be able to find it. So make sure you spell these two exactly the same. Alright, so we have test library. And if I want to call this function, first I need to call the library and then the function that I'm looking for. So test _ library. And the function I want, dot. And if I forgot the name, I can come look. test underscore function. That also has to be spelled exactly the same. Test function. And I'll call it just like any other normal function. If I run this, what it's going to do is it's going to go down my lines from top to bottom. It'll get to the import. It'll grab it. Then it'll find, oh, he wants a function from test library. It's going to play the function here. So now let's run it. Run. Look, Ma, I can create my own function. Cool. So you can change that with whatever name. One quick short hint. If you do as, and then let's just say lib. Okay, lib. What that means is this name right here, it could potentially be pretty long. Maybe you put some very specific stuff in there for the name so you can know what you're doing. You can say as lib, and it's going to shorten this name. So right now, if I run it, it can't find it because I changed the name to lib. So you could do like this, lib, a little bit shorter, run. All right. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Hopefully, y'all just paid attention to that. Okay, cool. We got this test library here. All right, let's read our question and we'll keep going. It says, create a function inside of your custom library, which is one of these two over here, that will make change for a purchase made with a $100 bill. So if you go to the store and you buy something, you're going to spend some amount of money and pretend like you pay with a $100 bill. So the purchase is going to have to be between $1 and $99 just for this specific program. Obviously, you can make it for larger amounts. We're doing this specific one. So from 1 to 99. And what you need to have happen is the function needs to tell you how many 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, and 50s you should get. And give the least number of bills. So the fastest way to make the amount of change that you're due. Okay, so what I want to do is first I need to come over here and I need to create a function. And I'm going to call this function changemaker. I just made that up. It's all mine. Okay, so inside of changemaker, that's the name of the function, is changemaker. Now, this changemaker needs some extra information. So it needs a argument. It needs to know what are we working with. It doesn't have that information. So your main program needs to call the function and send it some extra information. So I'm going to say test underscore library dot changemaker. And the argument is like how much money, we want to know how much money you're spending. Because we know it's on a $100 bill, so how much are they spending? Let's just make a number up. Say they're spending $50. So this is my library. This is my function. And let me back that up. And then this number inside of that parentheses, that is your argument. Hope I spelled that right. Not a spelling master over here. Okay, so argument. So this is the library you're calling. This is the function you're making, or with the function you're trying to get out of, and then you're sending it $50. You're saying, hey, they're spending $50. How much change do they get back? How many 1s, 5s, 10s, and whatever, 5s, 1s, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so over here on this side, you need to receive that amount. So what we'll do is we'll say cost, maybe. I don't know. All right, so we'll say change due. I'm making up a variable for myself. That variable does not exist. I just made it. Change due is going to be equal to $100 minus cost. And then I'll just print it out. I owe this person, comma, change due. Okay, so when you call the function, it sends the amount of money, let's say $50. Then you take, in order to know how much change that you got to give the person, you first have to take their money and then subtract the cost of the item, and then that's the change that they're due. All right, let's just test this out and we'll see what happens with this. Let me comment out this part here. So we're sitting at $50. What does it tell us? I owe this person $50. What if I changed it to 5? Now it's going to say I owe this person $95. That is working just perfectly. Now this is the part where I messed up in the other video. I told you all to use modulus, which I'm sure you could do it with modulus, but actually you're wanting to use probably more subtraction, just continuing this process right here. Okay, so my hints are if change due minus something. Oh, the amount of the bill. So let's say 50. That's going to be my hint right there. So you need to repeat this process for the $50 bill. Let me see if I can just kind of. You repeat it for the 50. You need to repeat it for the 20. And you need to repeat it for the 10. Sometimes it doesn't want to. The 10, the 5, and the 1. Okay. I'm not doing change, but or like coins or whatever. Okay. I mean, you can if you want, but all right. So what I want you to do is figure out how many 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s the person is supposed to get in return. And what you're just going to do is you're going to create the logic behind this. In the very next video I'm about to do, I'm going to give you a solution for it. But this is the basic property or basic premise behind it. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you in this next video.